Sanford and Son was a tremendous success on NBC during the 1970s and served as Norman Lear's counterpart to his other popular show, All in the Family. Both series revolved around a cantankerous father figure whose outdated views often clashed with the more modern perspectives of their children, highlighting the generational divide between baby boomers and their more traditional parents. The sitcom chronicled the lives of Fred Sanford, portrayed by Redd Foxx, and his son Lamont, played by Demon Wilson, who operated a salvage yard in the Watts neighborhood of Los Angeles. Stay tuned as we honor the memory of the Sanford and Son cast members who have since passed away. Redd Foxx as Fred G. Sanford. John Elroy. Sanford entered the world in St. Louis on December 9, 1922, before relocating to Chicago at the age of 13. He ventured to Harlem, where he struck up a friendship with the future Malcolm X while working together. It was in Harlem where he launched his comedy career, performing in African-American venues and on the Chitlin circuit, adopting the stage moniker Redd Foxx. During the 1950s, Foxx made a transition to Los Angeles, producing risque comedy records. By the 1960s, he achieved mainstream recognition for his stand-up routines in Las Vegas, while he is most celebrated for his portrayal of Fred Sanford on the popular sitcom Sanford and Son. Foxx is revered as a pioneering figure in the world of stand-up comedy. Foxx tragically passed away from a heart attack at the age of 68 in 1991 during rehearsals for his CBS show. The royal family Slappy White expressed to the New York Times, "The comedy community will feel his absence deeply. He shattered many barriers." Close acquaintances fondly recall Foxx's magnanimous spirit, with Ruth Brown recounting to the NYT. Redd was always there for a friend. However, despite his generosity and extravagant lifestyle, Foxx faced financial woes, ultimately declaring bankruptcy and experiencing property seizures by the IRS. Leanda Page. As Aunt Anderson, Leanda Page entered the world in Cleveland, Ohio, on October 19, 1920, but grew up in St. Louis, where she formed a childhood bond with Redd Foxx. During her teenage years, she delved into dance and showcased her talent with a fire dancing act on the Chitlin circuit, earning the moniker the Copper Goddess of Fire. By the 1960s, Page shifted from dance to comedy after relocating to Los Angeles and becoming a member of the comedy ensemble Skillet, Leroy & Co. Her breakthrough arrived when Foxx arranged for Page to audition for the part of Aunt Esther on Sanford and Son. She quickly endeared herself to audiences, portraying Fred's sharp-witted Bible, quoting sister-in-law. She revisited the role in the short-lived spin-offs Sanford Arms and Sanford, and continued her acting endeavors beyond her tenure as Aunt Esther. Throughout her career, Page advocated for equitable compensation for African-American performers. She passed away from complications of diabetes in 2002 at the age of 81. Whitman Mayo as Grady Wilson. Grady Wilson serves as Fred's amiable and simple-minded closest companion, making frequent appearances on the series. Grady's signature phrase is, "Great giggly, wiggly." He uses it to express joy or contentment. Grady functions as Fred's sidekick and often participates in various money-making schemes devised by Fred. During the late 1970s, Mayo made appearances on the Los Angeles children's TV show That's Cat, imparting wise counsel to the main character, Alice, in a gentle manner. In 1990, he had a role in an episode of In the Heat of the Night titled Greetings There. In 1991, he featured in an episode of Full House titled The Helper. He portrayed a senior citizen named Eddie Johnson dealing with Alzheimer's. Mayo tied the knot with Melva Washington, the offspring of Clarence and Lena Washington, in Los Angeles in 1956. Since 1994, he lived in Atlanta's Collier Heights neighborhood with Gail Mayo. His third spouse, Mayo, passed away from a cardiac arrest on May 22 in 2001 at Atlanta's Grady Memorial Hospital. Lynn Hamilton as Donna Harris. Donna Harris serves as Fred's intermittent romantic partner, who eventually becomes his betrothed. She works as a pragmatic nurse. Donna is a pleasant and composed woman who handles Fred's antics and occasional attempts with patience. She also displays a more refined demeanor compared to Fred's straightforward and UNC personality. Hamilton initiated her career in local theater in Chicago and made her Broadway debut in Only in America in 1959. She appeared in 3 other Broadway productions, numerous off-Broadway shows, and spent 3 years with the New York Shakespeare Festival. Hamilton also featured in the series Barnaby Jones, portraying a character named Laura Padette in the episode titled Sunday Doomsday on February 4, 1973. Additionally, Hamilton had a recurring role as Judge Fulton on The Practice. Hamilton tied the knot with poet and playwright Frank Jenkins for 49 years, from November 1964 until his passing in August 2014. Leanda Paggi, who acted alongside Hamilton on SANFORD and SON, coincidentally had a younger sibling, also named Lynn Hamilton. This sparked a rumor suggesting the two actresses were sisters. However, series Le Demon Wilson debunked the rumor as false FSE in 2016. Nathaniel Taylor as Rollo Elson. Nathaniel Taylor was born on March 31, 1938 in St. Louis, coinciding with Red Fox's birthplace. Before his acting career, Taylor worked as an electrician. He landed the role of Lamont's close friend, Rollo, in Sanford and Son. Taylor appeared in 32 episodes of the popular series and revisited his character in the brief spin-off Sanford. He also continued his acting journey with appearances in shows such as What's Happening and 227, as well as in black exploitation films like Willie, Dynamite, and Troubleman. Later on, Taylor established a performing arts academy in Los Angeles, where he imparted acting skills to aspiring talents. His passing occurred at the Ronald Reagan Medical Center in Los Angeles due to a heart attack in 2019 at the age of 880. Reflecting on his father's legacy, Taylor's son, Kayad, expressed his father's pride in being recognized as Rollo. It represented a significant period in television history for black men. Cotty shared with the Los Angeles Times it meant a lot for people to remember him. As reported by The Hollywood Reporter, Alonzo "Lonzo" Williams, a music promoter and Taylor's close associate, remarked he always had wisdom, kindness, and a joke to brighten someone's day. Howard Platt as Officer Hoppy Hopkins. Officer Howard Hoppy Hopkins is a recurring police officer character who makes occasional visits to the Sanford household. Frequently, Hoppy uses jive slang incorrectly, prompting corrections from Smitty, for example, saying cold instead of cool, torn off instead of ripped off, or right up instead of right on. Platt has appeared in various comedic and dramatic roles on television, most recently portraying Rev Wber in What About Joan. In addition to his portrayal of Hoppy on Sanford and Son, Platt has made guest appearances as Dr. Phil Newman on The Bob Newhart Show in a total of 6 episodes, Max on Alice, Major Ted Spector on Mass H, and Judge Jonathan Stockfish on Evening Shade. He takes on 5 distinct characters in Barney Miller. As a regular cast member, he portrayed Captain Doug March on the CBS-TV sitcom Flying High, 1978-79. His diverse movie roles include T.R. Basin, Nixon the Cat from Outer Space, and Norma Jean and Marilyn. In his directorial career, Platt has overseen a dozen productions, including a couple of Blackguards Don't Dress for Dinner, Pump Boys and Danae's, Lovely Letters, and Steel Magnolias. Don Bexley as Bubba Bexley. Bubba Bexley is another of Fred's pals, who frequently appears taking turns with Grady. As Fred's closest companion, Bubba is recognized for his contagious belly laugh and cheerful demeanor. He mainly serves as the straight man to set up punchlines for Fred. Throughout his career, Don Beckley pursued various roles as an orchestra director, vocalist, dancer, stand-up comedian, and actor. In the early 1940s, Beckley ventured into comedy in upstate New York. He collaborated with Milton Berle, Danny Kaye, and Henny Youngman, and danced alongside Sammy Davis Jr. Bexley holds the distinction of being the first black stand-up comedian to perform on the hotel circuit in the Boar Belt. Bexley shared a close bond with Redd Foxx until Foxx's passing in October 1991. He served as an honorary pallbearer at Foxx's funeral in Las Vegas. Their friendship endured for nearly 5 decades. While Bexley spent much of his life in Los Angeles, he relocated to Hampton, Virginia in 1996 after sustaining a hip injury, where he resided with a friend who cared for him. Bexley passed away from heart and kidney complications on April 15, 1997, at Hampton Centara Hospital. He was 87 years old. Raymond Allen as Uncle Woodrow Woody Anderson. Raymond Allen entered the world as the youngest among 12 siblings in Kansas City, Missouri, on March 5, 1929. He portrayed Aunt Esther's spouse, Woody, in Sanford and Son, but is also renowned for his recurring roles as Ned the WNO on Good Times and Merle the Earl in Star Sky, and Hutch Allen revisited the character of Woody in Sanford Arms and made guest appearances on other shows like The Love Boat, The Jeffersons, and What's Happening. Due to declining health, Allen retired from acting in the 80s and had been residing in a care facility since 2016 due to frequent battles with pneumonia. He passed away at the age of 91 in 2020 from a respiratory ailment unrelated to COVID-19. His daughter, Ton Allen, shared the news of his passing on Facebook. Just wanted to let the Allen family and friends know that Dad received his wing 2 hours ago. His warm, kind heart and clever sayings will be missed. His laughter will ring in heaven. Rest in heavenly peace. Raymond Allen, the last of 12 siblings, Hal Williams as Officer Smitty Smith. Officer Smitty Smith serves as a police officer who occasionally visits the Sanfords' home, always joined by another officer as his partner, who delivers punchlines to Williams's straight man setup lines. He often finds himself explaining police jargon to Fred or correcting his unhip white partner's pronunciation of jive slang. Williams committed to his acting career full-time in 1970. Since then, he has appeared in films like Paul Schrader's Hardcore, Howard Zieff's Private Benjamin, and Clint Eastwood's The Rookie. In the early to mid-1990s, he starred in several productions alongside comedian Sinbad, including The Sinbad Show and The Cherokee Kid. In one of his recent roles, Williams played the grandfather in the Bernie Mac film Guess, Who, released in 2005. He made a guest appearance in the 3rd season 24th episode of the television series Kung Fu as a friend of Kane named Caleb Williams, has been married twice, and has 3 children. On April 11, 1975, Williams tied the knot with Gay Anderson. However, they parted ways in November 1976. Pat Morita as Achu. Knowing stand-up comedy was a risky path, Morita built a career as a data processor with the Department of Motor Vehicles and Aerojet General Corp. He ventured into the entertainment industry seriously at age 30. While Morita is famously remembered as Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid series, he also dabbled in stand-up comedy and worked as a producer alongside Redd Foxx. Portraying Lamont's friend AUU were shedding tears too. Morita even toured with Fox's variety show, performing at prestigious venues like Carnegie Hall and the Apollo Theater. Following his role in Sanford and Son, Morita found success as Arnold on Happy Days. He briefly made history as the first Japanese-American lead actor on network television with the spin-off Mr. T and Tina. Morita passed away in Las Vegas on November 24, 2005 at the age of 73. Reflecting on Morita's legacy, Ralph Macchio stated he was an incredibly giving actor, a talented comedian, and above all, a wonderful friend. My life is enriched for having known him. I'll miss his genuine friendship. Gregory Sierra, as Julio Fuentes Sierra, gained recognition for his portrayal of Detective Sergeant Miguel Chano Amangal in Barney Miller. Yet he left a lasting impression as Fred Sanford's Puerto Rican neighbor and adversary, Julio Fuentes, on Sanford and Son. He once shared with the Morning Record that he drew inspiration from his uncle for the role. I not only used him as a model, but also named the character I portrayed on Sanford and Son after him. Sierra was also part of the original cast of Miami Vice, but he exited the series and his character met an untimely demise. He wasn't fond of Miami, and some of the people he collaborated with revealed his wife to the New York Times. Leaving the show meant sacrificing a lot. Sierra maintained a consistent presence in both film and television throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s. He succumbed to cancer in 2021 at the age of 83. Slappy White as Melvin. Similar to his peers, White commenced his stand-up career in predominantly black nightclubs before transitioning to mainstream venues like Las Vegas. He frequently shared the stage with Dean Martin, Billy Crystal, and comedy icon Moms Mabley. Throughout his tenure, White often collaborated with Fox. Though, unlike his wry-bailed friend, White maintained a reputation for delivering clean comedy. Like many of the actors featured on Sanford and Son, White secured his recurring role on the show through his association with Fox, illustrating Fox's inclination to extend his success to his friends. White portrayed Melvin in 5 episodes of Sanford and Son, yet he will be chiefly remembered as a stand-up comedian. He passed away from a heart attack at his residence in New Jersey in 1995. He was 73. Marlene Clark as Janet Lawson. Marlene Clark was born in Harlem on December 19, 1937, and developed an interest in acting during her college years. Together with her then-spouse, Billy D. Williams, she relocated to Los Angeles, where she initially pursued a career in modeling before transitioning to acting in movies and television. Most of the films I starred in didn't get released on schedule or never saw the light of day, Clark remarked at one point. So you miss out on all the publicity that could lead to other opportunities. Highlighting her diverse range of roles, Clark notably appeared in the cult horror classic Ganja and Hess, portraying a widow transformed into a vampire, and she made her debut alongside film icon Sidney Poitier in For Love of Ivy. Perhaps most prominently, she is remembered as Janet Lawson Lamont's fiancée in 6 episodes of Sanford and Son. Clark retired from acting in the 1980s and later ventured into entrepreneurship, opening her own boutique on Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles before managing a restaurant in Venice Beach. Clark passed away on May 18, 2023 at the age of 85. Her close friend, Tamara Lynch, announced Clark's passing state. She leaves behind a circle of friends and family who will forever cherish her grace, love, and kind spirit. Marlene exemplified Black beauty in its truest form. Noam Pitlick as Officer Swan Hauser. Noam Pitlick embarked on his acting journey while attending college in Philadelphia, starring in the series Action in the Afternoon. Following this, He secured a role in the off-Broadway production of the Three-Penny Opera in New York City before transitioning to television, acting in Los Angeles during the 1960s. Although he gained recognition primarily as a television director, earning accolades such as an Emmy, Peabody Award, and DGA Award for his directorial prowess, Pitlick initially pursued an active career as an actor on screen before transitioning to directing. He helmed over 100 episodes of Bar Arna Miller and approximately another 100 episodes of various television shows throughout his career. If you tuned in to broadcast television during the 1970s or 1980s, chances are you encountered something directed by Pitlick. He passed away in 1999 at the age of 66 from lung cancer. Demon Wilson as Lamont Sanford. Demon Wilson portrays Lamont Sanford, Fred's son, who often finds himself frustrated by his father's antics. Lamont occasionally faces consequences for his disdain of his father's habits, sometimes depicted as naive and gullible, such as falling victim to card sharks or getting duped in a scam involving an antique commode. Despite these setbacks, Lamont continually strives to improve his circumstances and explore life beyond the confines of the junkyard. Wilson has authored several books addressing concerns about the New Age movement and what he perceives as its hidden societal dangers. One of his works, titled New Age Millennium, was published by Cap Publishing and Literary Co. LLC on December 1, 1998. In addition to his writings on Christian themes, Wilson has also penned children's books describing New Age Millennium as an exposé on specific New Age symbols and slogans. In 2010, Wilson embarked on a project to produce and star in a melodramatic family film based on the play Faith Ties. Reflecting on the film, Wilson explained, "I portray a downtrodden alcoholic whose wife and daughter were killed and he's lost all hope. The main character is a pastor who finds himself caught in the middle as he witnesses the lives of those around him falling apart." Wilson has been married to Cicely Johnston, a former model, since May 3rd, 197.4, and together they have 6 children. Interestingly, Wilson shares a childhood friendship with Basketball Hall of Fame player Charlie Scott. Reflecting on the lives and careers of the beloved cast of Sanford and Son, we can't help but feel a deep sense of loss for those who have tragically passed away. From the iconic performances on screen to their contributions beyond the set, each actor left an indelible mark on television history. While their absence is deeply felt, their legacies continue to live on through the timeless episodes of Sanford and Son. Until next time, may their memories continue to shine brightly. Goodbye for now.